Hey, what's going on? I'm Keith here at Sports Vibes TV, and as you guys know, I've been pretty happy with what the Knicks have done so far, and I think there's still more that they can do in order to really make this roster gel. Now, we have RJ, we have Obi Toppin, we have Mitchell Robinson. We've already got a nice core of players that we need to develop, and we need to see who they can become this upcoming season. But we need that veteran that's going to kind of bring all their talents together and get the most out of them. And I think that player could be Mike Conley. Mike Conley is a point guard I have already made a video on about, potentially acquiring him this offseason. And that was before, I knew what some of these moves were that Leon Rose and the front office would make. After seeing the move that they've made so far, I think even more that Mike Conley is the point guard this team needs in order to bring all their collective talents together. Mike Conley is going to be able to work pick and roll with both Obi and Mitch. He's also going to be able to swing the rock over to RJ over on the corner wing and allow him to attack the basket at different angles. I think that, the team has the assets needed in order to acquire Mike Conley. And I don't think it'll be even that expensive. Mike Conley's an expiring contract. It's still a large cap figure at $34 million. But the Knicks, we can move Julius Randle. We can move DSJ. Those are two players Knicks fans don't necessarily see in the Knicks' immediate future. So it would allow us to bring in Mike Conley and have him be the orchestrator, have him be the maestro, and make sure that the offense, moves to the beat, moves on par with what these players are going to need in order to succeed long term. And, when Mike Conley moves on, he doesn't even have to move on. If we are happy with what Mike Conley is doing as a point guard, we could always next offseason resign him for a much smaller cap hold and allow us ourselves to still bring in another marquee talent and say, hey, look, you've got Mike Conley, a veteran point guard, and you've also got RJ, Mitch, Obi, players that are going to grow up and also develop even further. You're not going to have to be expected to carry this team by yourself. We've got other options. We've got other players beside you that are going to help us bring you to, a championship level, roster. And I think that's going to be a very strong argument the Knicks could make. So I think Mike Conley is the key or the piece that this team needs in order to have the most effective season for developing these young players. And, the reason I'm saying Mike Conley, it doesn't necessarily have to be Mike Conley, but Mike Conley to me fits perfectly. But we're going to have to bring in a veteran point guard to get the most out of our players, all right? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm really interested in hearing what Knicks fans think the missing piece for this team is. And, if you leave it down in the comments, I'll see what I can do, and maybe I can try to do a realistic rebuild with what we already have in-house and maybe do a move where I can bring in your player or your suggestion, all right? So once again, I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.
Uh-huh.